Yo, what's up, guys?
Okay,
Back.
guys, we're back, and next up, if you take a look at our brackets, we are going to be taking care of the semifinals for Subdivision A, and then we will be moving on after we have our finalists for tomorrow. The first up is going to be Tempo Storm versus Squad, and let me just make sure that this is all taken care of. Before we, gotta make sure these teams are locked in first.
Nice. I'm excited. I want to see the RMD versus GodCon matchup again because I saw them lose that at BlizzCon, but maybe they've prepared more and might even go for the mirror here.
Yeah,
We'll have to see.
definitely excited to see that.
Who do you think is gonna be the winner of this matchup?
It's actually a hard call, man. I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm not
I think-
I probably see the first game though.
Yeah,
And-
I think Squad might maybe have the advantage especially if they're playing God Comp, just because I know that Gareki has a lot more experience on his Shadow Priest than Peekaboo does if they go for the mirror. Maybe even in the RMD matchup, I know that Squad is like very consistent with that, so I think it could probably go in Squad's favor.
We
It's really
might even actually see Jamili play Frost Mage instead because it didn't actually work out for him.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
We'll see.
I'm sure he'll probably go for Frost if they're going to play God Comp, but maybe if they're going for the Arcane Arm Pal, he might do that. But if they want to RMD too, I think that's the possibility. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, we are getting these teams ready right now, guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're waiting on this.
bear with us.
It's been a long wait. I know
Lots
you've
of bear with us.
been here for a while, but we had that little stretch break, so we're ready. We're pumped. We gotta go.
Definitely helped.
Yo, we gotta hype up. It's go time. I want to see this. This is the semifinals. I want to
Yeah.
see who's gonna win this. Okay, as soon as we get these teams confirmation, we are going to be getting in here. Okay, so both teams are just about ready here. We're going to be getting into this game shortly. Of course, it's going to be on Nat Grand Arena, which is going to be a standard map for every first game of all of our series. And this series, I think, is a best of 5, actually, because it's the semifinals. So this time we might see a lot more switch-ups with comp variety. Oh, sorry,
It's
my
best
mistake,
of 3.
actually. It's actually just a best of 3. Okay. So made a bit of a mistake there, but still with that best of 3, that's where maybe coming with a surprise comp could really throw or that coming in with a comp that surprises
right.
your enemy might give you a huge advantage. Obviously, because you only have to win 2 games, so if someone gets thrown off guard and then you just have dominance with map picks, that puts you in such a good position to win.
Also mentality. Mentally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you get given once in that first game, it's like, okay, well, if I lose again, we're out. So we have to put in so much more effort. But in a best of 5, it's like, okay, we lost 1 game, we're good. We can lose 2. Like you don't feel as much pressure, and then you can get more into the zone.
Very true. Again, what do you think that do you think that Jamili is going to be rolling with the Arcane, or is he going to be staying with Frost?
Well, I think that if they're going to go for R and Pal, they're always going to be playing Arcane. But any other composition they pick, he's going to be playing Frost. I'm pretty much certain on that. So it's just going to depend on what comp Tempest Storm picks. I think maybe versus the God comp, they might just go for the straight up mirror here. That's going to be my prediction. But they might try to switch things up because that might be just what the other God comp thinks. So they might want to just try to win that mind game with their picks.
Again, at BlizzCon, when they were doing the mirror, is actually pretty even for the most part. They did seem like Tempest Storm did seem like they were falling behind at some points, even during BlizzCon,
Yeah.
though. And that, I personally think that it was because Peekaboo doesn't play his Shadow Priest that often. So that's probably
Might have died without this verse.
So the Grand Arena is up right now, guys. So we're going to be getting into this queue, and we will be seeing you in a second after Indy plays in.
Oh.
We actually do see Jamilion playing a Frost Mage right now, so...
Yeah, so we're going to see the HDog.com into that MLP matchup by Gurecki. So I guess Gurecki didn't want to go on a Shadow Priest. They wanted to go for this MLP matchup. I think that's kind of cool. I think that MLP might actually have a decent advantage in this matchup because obviously Affliction Warlocks against the Holy Paladin is pretty powerful. Yeah. Paladins are good at trading cooldowns, but that's the same pressure is so much for them. So
we're definitely going to see how this plays out. We're definitely going to see them either go on Gurecki or CC him heavily in the opener because you want to shut down as much of that Dark Soul as possible. And we're going to see if Gurecki decides to pop both his Dark Souls in a row or if he decides to hold on for another one for burst later.
Yeah, definitely. Pikachu's just trying to get his VTs out here. They're trying to get some pressure. They go for the Horror onto Dragon Mofugu, but he gets dispelled by Rubcup. They're going to get the Deep and the Hodge on Gurecki. Jamili's trying to get that Sheep to follow up, but Dragon Mofugu gets that silence on him, and then he's going to get feared by Gurecki. So now he's getting stopped. We have the Deep Freeze onto Elite with a Fear on Jamili, but they're not able to follow that up either. Tempo Storm and Rubcup's team are just breaking up each other's CC chains. Now they have the full Fear onto Elite. He's going to get followed up off of this by Tractor Mofugu, but he's going so low. He's at 24% HP with that full Fear onto Rubcup. He's trying to go for this Invis, and he's actually going to get it off for just a little bit, but Jamili doing a great job blizzarding him out at this point.
Jamili actually being the target to switch to as he's trying to LOS as much as possible, trying to LOS that Dark Soul being popped. Pikachu actually popping the Devouring Plague, trying to put a little bit of pressure onto the Rubcup's team right now, and both teams are looking like they're stabilizing a little bit, but actually
yeah, but there's a Frost shot onto Elite, actually. If they can get a Deep Freeze, which they have up very soon, but we have the Deep onto Rubcup, full Sheep onto him, Fear on Gurecki, and Trading Mofu getting 3v1 here. If Peekaboo can get maybe a Massive Spell here, I don't think he took the Glyph, though. And now they have more Sheeps coming up onto Rubcup, but they're going to get stopped. We have the Frost shot onto him. Jamili going to go for that Sheep once again. Gonna get stopped on that though with that Fear on him, and now we have a Deep Freeze onto Elite, followed up by a full Sheep. Double Shadow Fury comes out onto Peekaboo and Elite, and Peekaboo's under tons of pressure right here. There's a Dark Soul by Gurecki. Jamili caught in that Hodge because he had to offensively blink. And there's that
actually getting chunked down pretty low right now. Actually going for the Mass Dispel, ends up getting it off, and Tragic getting rooted, and the Dark Soul still.
Oh, but now the Sheep on Gurecki and the Keep onto Rubcup, and now he's followed up with that Silence, and Jamili does not get the Sheep off. He gets stopped on that. He tries to get the Frost shot onto Rubcup, but now we have the full Fear on him. Hodge and Gurecki, Dragon Mofugu getting bursted down. Jamili trying to get the Sheep off of this onto Rubcup, and he's going to get stopped. He's casting that Frost shot, and now he's going to get the Sheep. No, he gets feared by Gurecki. They're doing everything they can to stop Jamili from playing his character at this point.
Tragic having one Ice Block left, but he just used that Cold Snap Trinket coming up.
Oh, but 10 seconds. Rubcup got caught up into that full Sheep, but I don't think Tempo Storm has too much damage at this point, so I think he's going to be okay. He's just going to be able to sit this, and he has the wings available by Rubcup. And yeah, the Re-Sheeps are getting stopped here, and I think Tragic Mofugu is just waiting for the perfect window of opportunity to push him for this Deep Sheep because he has his Deep Freeze off going on. But now the Double Fear comes up onto Gurecki and Rubcup, Horror onto Tragic Mofugu. He has nothing left. He has one Ice Block, but there's a Hodge onto Gurecki. DR Silence onto Tragic Mofugu, Deep onto Rubcup. I think they might not be able to get the CC. Jamili's trying to get it, but he gets
coming out at 36k HP, very, very close.
Oh, and they get
the MD.
Yeah, they got the MD and the full
Death coming out.
The bubble.
Very,
Rubcup
very
doing
close.
Everything he can to keep Tragic Mofugu alive. He has the bubble up. They're trying to do what he can. He's spamming his heals. He doesn't have his wings available, but Tragic Mofugu is going to probably stabilize here. We have a Frost shot onto DJ Pikachu to peel. Jamili's getting lower here, and Jamili's in these full sheets. Jamili might have to use his first block at this point. He's getting low, but no, he's going to be able to stabilize with the wings from Elite.
Gurecki actually saving onto that Dark Soul.
Rubcup in that full Fear, Hodge into Gurecki, Horror onto Tragic Mofugu. He's followed up with that Silence. They're going to get the full Sheep onto Rubcup. Tragic Mofugu has nothing. He's trying to Blazing Speed, trying to get away. He's getting close to this gateway. He wants to run as much as he can. Rubcup going to get out of that CC chain, though. And now we have the Fear onto Elite. It looks like they're going to try to get some counter pressure. They still have one Dark Soul available. Gurecki on full Sheep DR here, and same with Tragic on those Silence DRs.
Now dipping dangerously low. He might have to use his first block here.
Deep Freeze full onto Rubcup, though. Jamili getting still low. He does have the Icy Veins up as well, and Rubcup is going to be that full Sheep. Horror onto Gurecki. Tragic
really low again. He does not have a block. Very, very low. He's in that death range. Very, very close, and he actually falls.
The wings by the last second from Rubcup, but that's going to be the kill. So that's going to be game one. Nice shot by Tempo Storm, and hopefully we'll see the map pick pretty soon. What do you think about that matchup, Steven?
Very back and forth game. again, one of the things to note is that Jamili actually was saving his block for a very, very long time. Both mages actually seemed like they were being a little bit greedy, holding their cooldowns, but it actually paid off for Tempo Storm in that game. So we'll have to see how the next matchup goes, if they're going to be using those, blocks a little bit early on to try to stay a little bit offensive. But again, it's still anyone's game. I feel like next matchup they might switch up their comp. So we'll have to see. Again, maybe they'll go for that mirror.
I also think that the positioning was why they were able to hold on to those blocks for so long, because most of the time they wouldn't have to use their blink and their blazing speed to get off those sheeps because both teams were so close to each other. So then those mages had that window to run away with those. So that's why I think they were feeling so greedy with those blocks. They were able to pull behind line of sight, and they know as soon as that CC chain ends, their Paladin's going to be able to top them, especially if they have a Wings or an Execution sentence available. So I think both teams did a good job knowing how much damage they're going to take.
Again, depending on what map they choose, it could actually favor both teams because, again, being able to be really able to cast as a lock, that could also help as well as CC as God comp. But we're actually going to get Dalaran Sewers, an interesting map pick. But we're going to get into this queue and, again, throw it over to Indy for that intro. And Indy, you need to mute your mic. That keyboard.
Okay, cool. So now we have the God comp mirror coming up. Correct, you went on to Shadow Priest instead of his Warlock. I kind of like that. Now we're going to have the standard matchup here. And this is pretty much going to go to whichever team can get the cleanest and smoothest setups. Now gates are opening here. Jamili on that